Hello and welcome. This is Mouse Gunner, and we're back with some more Motorsport Manager. Now, at the end of the last video, I had a little bit of indecisiveness on what kind of tires I was going to use. And I did some looking into things, and I think we're actually better off going with the super softs that were suggested for the cars coming into things. And the reason I'm doing that is, as much as there is some water on the track right now, and I was not really sure of that because we also see it's going to continue to rain and build up water later in the race. But if you really look at things, that's going to happen a few laps down the road. Now, we start with water on the track, but because it gets sunny for a brief period of time, a lot of that water, or some of that water, is going to dry off. So, as much as the track is going to remain a little wet, dry tires can handle a little bit of wetness okay. Once you start to get more and more wet, obviously you're going to need to switch to intermediates. And what really clinched it for me on what we were going to do is I took a look at the starting grid, and we can see all of the AI drivers are using super softs. They are not using intermediates. And I thought, if we go out there in intermediates, it's probably too dry for the intermediates to do well, and we'd be really slow and we'll get killed. So I think the better choice is to go with the super softs. But as a result, I think I'm going to change some of my strategy here, because I'm probably going to be taking a pit earlier than I normally would. I might even burn a little bit of fuel in Boris's car, because he can refuel with his one bonus that we have selected at a faster rate than Mustafa can. So we're going to burn a little bit of extra fuel with him. I'm going to go with push, though, initially just to get some temperature in the tires, and also to wear through the tires faster, because we're probably going to be getting rid of them quicker. But we still have to consider the fact that it's probably not going to be until maybe at least lap 4 or 5 before we're going to want to change those tires. So let's go ahead and continue. Hopefully that's the right choice. We'll see. Sometimes the AI makes poor choices in as far as that goes, but we're not at a disadvantage making that choice, because the AI is just as disadvantaged as we are. In any case, we're going to be in 10th and 16th for this race, because our drivers have improved in the driver standings, which means that they are going to start further back than they did in the past. And here we go. So here's hoping that we didn't make a poor choice here. We'll hear about it when the drivers, if they tell us it's a little damp and they want to change their tires. But for right now, we're going to be a little bit on the attack. We did manage to stay in 10th position. Let's go ahead and speed up, as there is a little bit of a gap. So far, our drivers have not complained. And as a matter of fact, Mustafa makes a good move there. Boris has done nothing but drop down in position, because he has a little bit more competition in his area, so we'll have to see. But Mustafa definitely has moved up into 8th place at this moment. All right, so at this point we're sunny, so it's going to be drying off. So our tires should be fine. And I'm just going to keep an eye on things. Now, the big problem is, because we're on the same pitch strategy, if we have to come in to change our tires because of the rain. All right, so he's complaining, but we are actually having the water dry off, so there's no real reason to change those tires. This is the one moment that we would be in trouble if we had intermediates, I think, because we're going to be pretty slow during this period of time if we had the intermediates. All right, so far so good. Mustafa's actually moved up to 5th place, which is fantastic. All right, so we're going to have to keep an eye on what the AI does. As a matter of fact, we're going to have to keep an eye on our tire temperatures as well. But so far so good. We're going to see some rain coming in fairly soon. All right, there goes Mustafa making a push. I'm actually going to have him push with his engine a little bit, because we have a bit of a straight here. Now it's slowed down, so we'll go there. I don't think we're going to keep 4th, but it is pretty tight here. We did manage to get the inside track. We have another straight here, so I'm going to have him push. Come on, come on, come on. All right, let's back off again. Now, this is kind of the strategy we used last time, was wait for the straights, but it looks like this guy's going to have me here in the corners. All right, well, that's unfortunate, but we are not doing too bad. How is the rain coming in? So it's going to start getting wet here again. So at this point, we're going to have to keep a close eye on the guy in first place, who has quite a bit of a lead on us, to see what he does. I have a feeling I mean, we'll know if guys around us are going to pit because they'll show that indicator by their name. So far, nobody's pitting. As a matter of fact, I'm going to back off my tires here because they're getting rather warm and I don't want to have issues because of that. I think I'm going to keep with the burning of the fuel, though, at least for Boris's car. Okay, now we're really slowing down, and I think that's because of the water on the track. Let me see if Boris's cars around Boris are planning to pit. Not that I see. That's very strange. I mean, we know the water's just going to keep picking up here. I might go early on the pit with Boris here. Because the rain's only going to build. As far as we can see, it's going to be sunny for quite a while. I mean, not sunny, raining. It looks like maybe at the very end. No, that's even rain. Now, it's not a lot of rain, but it's enough that we want to switch to inners, in my opinion. So, I'm going to go ahead and do that change. This may be a mistake. But I think it's an okay move as long as we just do it with Boris. And let's actually have him go back on a push strategy because we're going to be changing those tires anyway. All right, we're going to stick with Mustafa here. Oh, as a matter of fact, there they go in pitting. So the AI was sneaky there, and it pitted at the last second. So we're going to go ahead, and we're going to change Mustafa's strategy to also pit for the inners. And we're going to fuel up. And we're going to go with a fast pit. All right, so that's unfortunate that the AI did that to me, but it is what it is. I'm going to go ahead and go with a push here as well. All right, so Boris is not going to be at that much of a disadvantage pitting when he did. Mustafa maybe, but none of the cars in front of him pitted either. All right, so Boris is going to come out in 8th. I'm going to keep him moving back onto a neutral stance, and we'll see how that goes. So we're slow, pretty slow here, but we have quite a gap because we did not pit and everybody else did. Let's go ahead and speed up still further. So Boris came out of that, I think, pretty good in 8th place. That's not bad. As a matter of fact, I might have him push a little bit with his tires. All right, here we go. We're coming into the pit lane. We're coming out pretty fast, so it looks like we didn't quite keep out there, but that's okay. I'm going to keep pushing with the tires just to get temperature up in them. All right, so we're in 6th and 7th. That's actually 6th and 8th because that one car just passed Boris. As a matter of fact, I am going to back off on Boris's tires here. We'll continue with Mustafa, at least for the meantime. Now, Boris does have somebody right up his butt, so we'll have to see how that goes. But we're not doing too bad here. Let's back off on the tires now. We'll just keep an eye on the tire temps. We're just going to try and play the endurance game here until it dries off. Now, hopefully we can stay out on these tires as long as it is wet, but I doubt we will be able to do that. Which kind of sucks, because that means we're only going to have, like, inners for a very short period of time. But again, 6th and 8th is not bad at all, in my opinion. Although, if we managed to get that pit in at the last second, like that AI did, we might have come out a little bit better off. Looks like we're going to lose 6th here. And Boris is looking to pass Mustafa. Now, we can't tell Mustafa to back off because Mustafa doesn't take team orders. So that's going to be to the detriment of our team, I think. Because technically, Boris has the faster car. Looks like we're going to lose 9th place anyway, but... Alright, tire temperatures are starting to get a little bit cool, so I'm going to go ahead and push a little bit with Boris's tires. Not quite with Mustafa yet. We're still in, like, the middle point of the rain. So I think I'm going to push with Mustafa's tires, too, because we're probably going to have to change them out anyway. Matter of fact, we do have some pitting going on up ahead of us, which will benefit us. At least one position. So we'll just keep an eye on things, and we're solidly in 7th and 8th right now. It looks like we're going to be up into 5th and 6th now. Alright, so a great deal of pitting behind us. Gives us a nice gap. I'm going to keep an eye on the tire temps, make sure we're not running these tires too ragged. Boris looks like he's going to have to pit maybe in the next few laps here. Well, for sure, just on fuel, but we'll let him out there for a couple more. But we do have to consider the fact that we're probably going to have to take inners again. All right, there goes Boris trying to pass Mustafa, and he finally gets him. So we'll be following Boris for the meantime. Who's at 52% with his tire life. Tire temps are kind of getting warm, so we'll back off a little bit. All right, so I think at this point, we're going to go ahead. I might be able to keep Mustafa out long enough that the wetness will go away. It's really hard to say, but I think we're going to have to pit with Boris here, so that kind of sucks. We're gonna have to put him on inners. There's no way around that, I don't think. And we'll give him as much fuel as we can get here. As a matter of fact, if we could get 10 laps worth of fuel, we would actually be golden. I might keep him out another lap. Just because of where we are as far as the laps and how much fuel he could fill up. And he'll be okay, I think, to stay out. One more lap. Alright, so we're in 4th and 5th here. The cars in front of us probably will pit, but they have quite a bit of a lead, too. So it's going to be tough to actually get any advantage on them if they are pitting. Alright, so it is going to be drying off here. Alright, at this point, we definitely have to pit with Boris. The real problem is what do we give him as far as tires go, and I think we still have to give him that. Okay, so that should be good as far as fuel. And we're going to go with a balanced pit here, so 9 seconds. I don't know if we'll be staying on those tires for very long, and this is where maybe I should have pitted. Anyway, I could always change that pit, though, if it looks like it's going to be drying off before he would need to pit. Mustafa, on the other hand, we're for sure going to be able, I think, to stay out long enough that it dries off, maybe. But I just think with the rain on the track, we're going to have to go with inners here. But it's like inners for such a short period of time. That's what sucks. Oh, well. We have to pit here. There's no choice. Probably going to have to pit with Mustafa here now. But at this point, it looks like it's going to dry off enough by the time he pits. So I'm going to go ahead and have the risky play here. And we're going to go with softs. It might not dry off enough by the time he pits, but I'm hoping it will. And do we even go riskier and do we go medium tires and try and stay out? And not pit anymore? Because we could do that on fuel. Because at this point, we only need 8 laps worth of fuel. So we have a little bit extra. And then we can go with a fast pit, which is 9 seconds. I mean, it's risky because medium tires might be slow for the period that it is wet, but it's going to be sunny for the rest of the race, according to this. So, we'll see. That's the plan. And we'll pit. Now, Boris is going to be coming out here on inners, which sucks. But it just, the timing isn't right. What we are going to have him do is just attack the living crap out of these tires. So that they, Alright, now we're in first. I didn't notice that until just now. Now, we're not going to be in first by the time we pit, but alright, so it's going to be decently wet when we pit, which I'm a little bit concerned about. But I'm hoping it will, it'll be progressively drying off here. Probably going to be down into maybe even 7th here, maybe even 9th, actually. All right, so he's going to be kind of on the slow side while it's wet, but it's going to be drying off. So I'm hoping that pit will help us, because everybody else is now pitting. And Boris, we're probably going to have to pit here. We'll see what the number 1 car does. No. 3 pitted. Let's just see what the 3 pit is. Crap, I'm not going to know, am I? We got to believe that people are coming in to change their tires. There's no way that they're not. So let's go ahead and pit here. And where we are on the race, we should be able to make it with soft. So I'm going to go soft here. We don't need fuel. I can't take a quick pit, though. I'm going to have to take a balanced one, in my opinion. All right, let's go ahead and do that pit. And I will back off to just a normal push here. All right, here we go. I think that was the right call. And Mustafa's going to soar ahead into 4th now. And I think that strategy we did was the right call as far as his car goes. Now, we're going to have to push a little bit to get some temperature in those tires. Now, the car in 1st and 2nd are still on the intermediates. They blew by the pit lane. And I am going to back off on the pushing here, but I am going to go into high gear as far as the burning of the fuel for both cars, because we have excess fuel with both cars. We only have 5 laps to go, and we have more than 7 laps worth of fuel for both cars. So I'm hoping by being a little bit more aggressive here, we can maybe get into better position, or at the very least maintain our position, because we need 4th to get our sponsorship. The engine should be able to take it, I'm hoping. Although it looks like we're already in trouble here as far as... Wow, the car in 1st and 2nd already pitted, and they're still well ahead of us. That sucks. Alright, well. Temperature in the tires is getting up there. We have guys breathing down our neck, that's for sure. Let's go ahead and back off here. We're still good on fuel. So when it comes down to the last couple laps, I could probably really flog the engines, as long as the engines are still okay with that. So we're in 4th and 7th so far. Tire temperature is good. Fuel is good. We may actually have a bit of an advantage here. So we're in 3rd and 6th, because must have been a pit here that gave us that. So even if I lose this position, I'll be okay, but hopefully we can fight for it, especially in these corners. So far, so good. As a matter of fact, we may have made up some space there. We still have plenty of fuel, so I don't think we're in danger there. On lap... With lap 22, I may even burn fuel faster than we are now. I'm not sure, though. Maybe I'll wait until the last lap. Because when you go into full overtake mode, you burn fuel really fast, and I'm a little bit concerned about that. There is some... parts problems here. Oh, I don't know if we can push this engine much more in Mustafa's car. So as much as he has extra fuel, I may just have to keep with what I'm doing. Matter of fact, we might even have to back it off a little bit. I don't know what happened to his engine that it got thrashed like that so quickly. But we'll just stick with it for now. Now, I'm not really sure. I mean, I know we could probably get around with what fuel we have at this engine mode, but we're on the last lap. We're more than likely not going to get any better positions than we currently have, except for possibly Boris just took 5th, so that's good. I might want to maintain it here, so let's go ahead and have him go into overtake mode. You can go back into medium. There's no way anybody's going to pass you. He's going to get 4th here. He just got 4th. Wow, we just got 3rd and 4th with this race. That is fantastic. That, as much as we didn't do as well as far as the upper position, we didn't get 2nd place. 3rd and 4th is dramatically the best performance we've had this far this season. Because that means that, you know, 2 cars fishing that high up, it's going to give us a ton of points. So this is where we're going to be turning things around, hopefully. Now, the downside is we could lose some stuff with demotions here because we are running risky parts here. So we'll have to see. So we're 3rd and 4th right now, but we'll have to see if we get caught for anything. I am very hesitant here. Okay, no rules broken. Whew. Okay, so it does stand there, 3rd and 4th for us. So fantastic. We're going to get our sponsorship, so that's $800,000. That's perfect. And also, we get a lot of points here. So let's go ahead and see the results of that. So we get another podium for Mustafa, which is fantastic. And as far as the driver standings go, Boris is now in 3rd and Mustafa is in 7th. So that means we're going to be starting much further back than we've have in the past. So that might hurt us a little bit. But now in the driver standings, we are in 2nd place. Now we have a lot of points to make up for the team in 1st if we want to win this season. It's not a ton, though. I mean, it's only 8 points. We've only got 4 points behind us, though, as far as the team behind us. So we could drop down if we don't do so well in the next race. But that was a fantastic performance. I'm very happy to see that. And we're now in shouting distance of 1st place. So that's good to see as well. Another good performance like that, and we might very well be in 1st place. All right, well, nothing to complain about with that result at all. And that was actually the first race in a while that we haven't had an accident either. That's interesting, considering it was raining. So marketability continues to go up. We came in 1st again as far as the race results, which I'm not surprised at. You don't necessarily have to come in 1st place to come in 1st as far as a team standpoint. With good, strong finishes like that and consistent finishes, you can win a season. So let's go ahead and continue here. And we get our sponsorship yet again. So now that sponsorship is starting to pay for us. Starting to be worth it. All right. Well, I'm very pleased with that result. And we now have our car ranked 4th overall. So we went from being ranked 6th, maybe even 7th, all the way up to 4th. And hopefully we can continue to improve that as the season continues. So let's go ahead and take a look at our mailbox. So we do have a interview coming in. And I might as well take it because it's one of the rare instances where they're not going to be saying, oh, that guy had a poor performance. Because if they say that, I'd be very surprised. All right, so we're going to have 12 hours to prepare. And let's go ahead and accept the interview. You were expected to finish higher than 3rd this weekend. What went wrong? Really? Huh. I didn't do anything wrong, so I'm not really sure what I'm supposed to say here. I really hate these interviews. They need to improve them because this makes no sense. 3rd is plenty good for me. I didn't make any mistakes. The drivers didn't make any mistakes, and the cars did fine, but we'll blame it on the cars. Boris was hit for a very high finish this weekend, but only managed 4th. Again, what the hell? I'm just going to say there's nothing to worry about because there isn't. Yeah, what is that? I mean, honestly, what is that? We were predicted to finish 4th in overall, and we just finished 1st twice in a row, and they give me an interview like that. It seems like the only way, that the interviews are happy is if you finish, like, in 1st place. I mean, a podium, and I'm supposed to be upset with that? Whatever. All right, in any case, we get a podium there, and we're going to have to repair our cars before we can do anything else, so let's go ahead and do that. And I am curious if it will allow me to upgrade the headquarter building now. So I want to upgrade the design center. Nah, still won't let me do it. Okay. So there's only a so negative it will allow you to go. Car repair finished. All right, let's take a look at our parts here. So we're at 77% here. We're at 86% for our reliability there. We don't need that to be any more reliable. As a matter of fact, probably we should be working on the brakes at this point and probably the engines, honestly. I mean, our other gearbox needs a little bit of love, but our engines need love because in our last race, we had a little bit of problems with our engine reliability. And, that's, when something you push, you tend to have a little bit of problems with that. We do have another sponsor coming up. I'll wait until that we get all of our offers. All right, so I think I'm happy to, at least for the meantime, continue with the 10-10. results. Now, the next race we have is going to be acceleration, top speed being useful, not crucial, and low speed corners. So as a result, I'm going to stop improving here. We're going to continue improving engines, and we're going to start improving the gearboxes that we use so that we can get our performance up for the upcoming race, because acceleration is crucial, and it's, you know, good to have that. All right, well, let's go ahead and continue for a few days here. Probably until we at least get to the politics, which we're going to have to stop at anyway. And as far as the politics go, it's not saying it will benefit us or hurt us. I honestly don't know what kind of tire we're using now. I'm going to go ahead and vote for it. I don't see a reason why not. We'll go ahead and continue with that. We'll just skip to the end. I don't know which way the vote's going to go. We'll see. So far, it looks like in favor. It doesn't seem like it really mattered which way I would have voted. It would have been approved. So it's going to cost us a little bit extra per race next season if we don't win the season, get promoted. Obviously, we don't care if we win the season, get promoted. All right, so we now also have 3 sponsorship offers. So let's go ahead and take a look at them. So interestingly enough, we do not have a 3-star offer, even though we are a 3-star team. That's not necessarily good. So we've got $1 million up front, not really worth it. We've got $350,000 per race, and then we've got $400,000 per race. We'll go ahead and take the $400,000 per race. And in the last 10 races, that's pretty good. That's worth a fair amount. So I'm happy with that. And I'm going to go ahead and let it continue a couple more days here. And we'll go there. And we do have some more scouting done. I don't know how much more we have in the queue, but I already took a look. We don't have anything else to scout. So once we're done with this, I guess the scout won't have anything to do. Let's take a look at our cars now, as far as their reliability. So we're above 80% at this point, and our engine's nice and reliable. I'm going to go ahead and switch over to the other gearbox, improving its reliability. We're going to get rid of the brakes, I think, and we're going to start improving the other engine. And what else can we improve here? So most things are around about the 85% mark, give or take. So I guess the front ring is crucial, so we'll do a little bit of that. I am going to go on to full-on performance improvements, though, because I'm satisfied with where we are in reliability. We'll get a little bit of a reliability improvement. And we're still good as far as our mechanic and performance. Okay, so I'm happy there. We're not going to get this completed before the race as far as the improvement goes, but hopefully we'll get something going here. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and just continue from this point on. I don't think there's a reason to really pause unless something comes up and makes me pause. But we're going to have a pause at the end of the month, so we might as well take a look at things here. So we have something going on with bikes. All right, so scouting report, bikes. So he's racing motorbikes. This is a temporary boost that's going to give him some smoothness and also some marketability, which is good. That, you know, I'll take it anytime. Sometimes these things can become permanent bonuses. Whether that is totally positive or not, it depends. Okay, well, let's take a look at the improvements anyway. All right, so we're getting there with the engines and the gearbox. It's quite possible this one gearbox will be much higher than the other one. We'll have to see as far as part fitment, what that's going to impact us with. But at this point, we might as well continue. We're going to have a stop at the conclusion. Oh, we've got an interview. Let's see what that's about. All right, so we'd like to take some of Mustafa. Okay, time for an interview. Is that okay? We'll reimburse you for this. So they give us 100,000, but it will cost us 20 morale. 100,000 is nothing in this game, in my opinion. But his morale should also be all the way to the top, honestly, as well. So, you know, there's not really a big deal here. I'll take the cash. What the heck? I mean, 100,000 is, I don't think, worth 20 morale hit, but yeah, you know, it helps. And we'll take a look at that morale now. So he's a little bit of a hit there, but it will go away after time, and hopefully we'll improve it as well. Okay, well, let's go ahead and I'll go ahead and put a break in the video at this point. I don't think there's really anything that we need to do before the next race other than just continue to improve our car, which we are doing. In any case, I hope you guys have enjoyed the video. This is Mouse Gunner signing out.